What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns welcoming you to another episode of my Discuss series. Today, we are doing your favorite fall 2017 video games. The games coming out this fall that you are most looking forward to. And to be correct, we are talking about fall in the northern hemisphere, not the southern hemisphere. I realize you guys are, starting to get warmer down there, and we're starting to get cooler. But I'm just saying fall 2017 in general. It's nothing against everybody in the South. You guys are cool. I love all of you in South America, as well as Australia, New Zealand, elsewhere south of the equator. But we're just going to call it fall 2017 video games. Okay, so I gave you guys the opportunity to submit your favorite fall 2017 video game last week between, last Wednesday and Friday via the comments section in last week's Discuss video, as well as Twitter and Facebook. By the way, all my social links found below in the description section, so feel free and follow me on Twitter, like the Facebook page, because I do a lot more than just post videos. I occasionally put out silly GIFs or GIFs, whatever you want to pronounce that word, or photos, pics, and more nonsense. Plus, sometimes I share content from some of my friends, like Azerlin, Sky, when we stream together. Well, when they stream and I play along and I get murdered by them in Friday the 13th. Or when I'm part of the ACG International Podcast, along with Carrick, Reg, Silver. The latest episode of the International Podcast is over on Carricks Channel, ACG. By the way, Carrick is one of the best reviewers of video games out there when it comes to AAA and indie games. So be sure and check out Carrick's channel, ACG. It's over there along with the rest of my friends and their channels in the featured channel section, along with my other channel, GeauxBurns V&R. What does the V&R stand for? Vlogs and reviews, baby. So I kind of did a little name brand change to that channel Monday. So feel free and go check that out as well. All of which can be found over in the featured channel section, along with, of course, Carrick's channel, ACG. All right, with all those plugs out of the way, here it is. Time for your 2017 fall video games, the video games coming out this fall that you are most looking forward to. We start things off with Carlene, our retweet warrior on Twitter. Well, you know me. It's going to be South Park, The Fractured Butthole. Hell yeah. It's South Park, and I love the TV show, as do I, Carlene. In fact, I think episode 3 airs tonight. Very much looking forward to it. I enjoyed last week's episode, the premiere episode, not so much, but hopefully season 21 will end up being really, really good. Now, respect GeauxBurns' authority. Yes, respect my authority. Thanks, Carlene. Now we are moving on to Daniel. It's not a fall game, unfortunately, but I'm most excited for a new Borderlands. Borderlands 3 is the likeliest of titles. What's your opinion about the series? Have you played it? And have you, if you are looking forward to anything in particular in the next installment, what is it? Unfortunately, Daniel, I am not a fan of the Borderlands series. It's nothing against Borderlands. I just never played it, so I have no opinion one way or the other about Borderlands, and I'm glad that there is a fan base out there for it, because I think that most franchises deserve a fan base. And I did some research, but unfortunately I couldn't find any bit of information regarding Borderlands 3, so I don't know if they're even working on Borderlands 3. I mean, you would hope that they are with the popularity of the franchise, but as of right now, the next Borderlands game is to be announced. So hopefully all the Borderlands fans out there we'll get some news sooner rather than later regarding a potential Borderlands 3. Next, we go to Elaine off of YouTube. Discuss topic. I'm looking forward to a few fall 2017 games, but my top 3 would be Call of Duty World War II, Wolfenstein 2, and PUBG, hopefully without a delay. So, in case some of you are wondering, well, GeauxBurns, isn't PUBG already available to play? Well, yeah, you're right. It's available to play on PC. But what Elaine is referring to is on Xbox One. Now, it's supposed to be coming by the end of 2017, but it's still kind of iffy. And hopefully it'll live up to the PC version of PUBG. So it's still on the fence as to whether or not it will actually come out this coming fall, but hopefully Battlegrounds will, because I know there's a lot of PUBG fans out there on Xbox One that want to get their hands on PUBG for Xbox One. So let's hope and see that it makes it, for the fall 2017 deadline, and that it's actually worth playing and it doesn't have issues and problems compared to the PC version. I mean, the PC version isn't perfect, but what I'm saying is hopefully it's on par with the PC version of PUBG. Okay, so what else is Elaine looking for? She's excited to Activision went back to boots on the ground with the upcoming Call of Duty. Really? You had to say boots on the ground? That's what they've been saying since they announced World War II. The beta, though it had issues, was great. I had an amazing time playing with friends and even solo. The gameplay felt smooth and fun, especially in war mode, and the different weapons were awesome. I'm looking forward to trying the new zombies mode. I never knew that I'd be as excited for a COD game in such a long time. Back in 2014, when Wolfenstein New World Order came out, I fell in love with the story and I thoroughly enjoyed the gameplay. And it was just a wonderful FPS to get lost in. The ending left me eagerly hoping Bethesda would release a sequel. Thankfully, they are, and I'm hyped to get back into the epic action. PUBG is pretty self-explanatory. I've watched countless live streams, as have I, and videos, and it just looks like it's fun to play. Yeah, it does look like fun, but I'm not going to play it because I probably wouldn't last 5 seconds. I'm glad it's coming to Xbox soon, and I can't wait to try it with friends. Hopefully, like I said, once again, PUBG will be out for Xbox One with as little issues as possible before the end of 2017. Now, regarding Call of Duty World War II, I was excited for Call of Duty World War II. I'm still on the fence about it because I love the World War II Call of Duty games from back in the 2000s. But I don't know. I mean, the beta looked promising. I didn't get a chance to play it. But when you have a game called World War II, you kind of have lofty expectations for it to be about all of World War II, not just during one time period in World War II or one theater. So, I mean, that's kind of the problem I have. I guess it's just a name issue. I wish it was called something else, like World War II European Front. Then maybe they could do like a World War II like Russian Front, then a World War II Pacific Front. I just wish they would have gone that angle instead. But that's just small potatoes. And hopefully it turns out to be really good, the campaign as well as multiplayer. And if it is, I might just consider getting Call of Duty World War II. Wolfenstein 2, I didn't get a chance to play New Order, but I am an old school Wolfenstein fan. It's just that so many games come out. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to play New Colossus because, like I mentioned, I haven't played New Order. So that's kind of the issue for me right now. But, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention something. I do have the dates that I found when they are supposed to be releasing in the graphics. Now, hopefully the dates are accurate. If they're not, I do apologize, but I just wanted to point that out in case you guys were wondering about the dates by each of the video games that are mentioned. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid list. PUBG, Wolfenstein 2, as well as Call of Duty World War II. Hopefully all three will live up to the hype and expectations of the fans. Up to bat next is Jesse off of Facebook. This is a difficult question to answer for me. At first, I was super stoked for COD, World War II, Battlefront 2, and Red Dead Redemption 2. First, they canceled Red Dead Redemption 2. They didn't cancel it, Jesse. They delayed it. We'll talk about that in a minute. Then I played some Battlefront 1, and I realized my money would be better spent on just buying a copy of the real Battlefront 2 on Xbox. So that left me with World War II, which looks like it's going to have an amazing campaign, but the multiplayer, essentially half the game, doesn't really look like something I'd enjoy. So that left nothing of the original 3. I'm curious to see the sort of improvements that come with the remaster of LA Noire, but I doubt they'll be significant enough for me to buy the game for a third time. Had a copy on the 360. One of the discs got damaged, so I bought a second copy also for the 360. I guess technically I'm still excited for World War II, but I doubt the likelihood of me actually buying it. So, one hand, Jesse's excited, but he's not excited. He's kind of cautious, which I completely understand. These games are not cheap. They're $60 a pop. And like I mentioned, I sincerely hope that Call of Duty World War II does live up to Jesse's and everyone else's expectations. And it's worth the purchase of $60 US or whatever the currency happens to be in your country if you don't live in the US. So yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of on the fence about World War II as well. Battlefront 2, I'm kind of excited about. I'll talk about that and a few other games at the end of the video. Now, regarding Red Dead Redemption 2, tomorrow there's going to be an announcement regarding Red Dead Redemption 2, Thursday, September 28th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, which I believe is 4 p.m. UK time. It's 10 a.m. Central, my time, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Whatever it happens to be regarding Red Dead Redemption 2, information, a trailer, perhaps even more. Whatever it is, I'm definitely going to be doing a breakdown regarding whatever comes out tomorrow in regards to Red Dead Redemption 2. Hopefully we'll get an idea of the characters, the setting of Red Dead Redemption 2, along with the story, as well as the official release date, which hopefully will not be delayed yet again. All right, so that is what's coming up tomorrow on the channel. And yes, any other future news information regarding Red Dead Redemption 2, I will be covering leading to the launch of Red Dead Redemption 2, which obviously I'll be Let's Playing hopefully in the spring of 2018. That's the plan. And Red Dead Online as well. Now we're moving on to the three assassins, Fire, aka Unknown Assassin, Gordon, and Swamp Donkey. I lumped you together because I didn't want y'all to feel lonely. Plus, you're all excited about the same game, which is Assassin's Creed Origins. Of course, Fire, he says Assassin's Creed Origins because I love the ancient Egypt setting. Way more iconic and massive than the other settings we got before. And as a history buff, I'm also very interested in what they do regards to ancient Egypt. Though I feel like it's going to be around the time of the the early days of the Roman Empire, as well as the end of the Roman Republic. The times of Julius Caesar, Mark Antony, Brutus, Cleopatra. I think that's where it's going to be set. I think that's already confirmed. Gordon, Assassin's Creed Origins, always loved open world games, as do I. And Swamp Donkey, well, wasn't looking forward to Assassin's Creed Origins, but I changed my mind. I dug a little deeper into the combat revamp, and I really like it. So yeah, at least 3 people excited about Assassin's Creed Origins, and I'm glad Ubisoft took a year off to not release it annually like they've been with previous Assassin's Creed games. And as someone that's played Assassin's Creed games in the past, most recently Black Flag, which I absolutely love, I am hoping that this is going to be the rebound for Assassin's Creed, but we'll see. If it turns out to be really good, and there's an interest and an appeal from my viewers, subscribers, and fans, I might even consider picking it up and Let's Playing it or streaming it. So we'll just see how that goes. Moving on to Newt, aka Jack. Definitely Wolfenstein The New Colossus. Even the new trailers got me more and more hyped. And I realized that a moment ago someone else mentioned Wolfenstein 2, but Elaine mentioned 2 other games, so she got to stand alone. But Newt. I love Newt. He's awesome. So another person very, very interested in Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, which is coming in hopefully late October. Next, we go to Noose, LA Noire for me, best detective game. I played and just wish they made it more modern. Okay. So, yes, remaster of LA Noire is coming to 4 consoles, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, both playable on Xbox One as well as PlayStation 4 Pro, and Switch as well as the Vibe. So, yes, LA Noire is coming in November. And admittedly, I've never played LA Noire. And I think that is a game I'm definitely going to either Let's Play or stream when it comes out. Moving on to, let's see, Steven off Twitter. Need for Speed Payback because it seems to be getting back to the original style, and Assassin's Creed Origins, RPG Assassin's Creed, is bite. So you have another vote for Assassin's Creed Origins. By the way, let me know below in the comment section which fall game you're most looking forward to. If you haven't had the opportunity to participate in the Discuss video feel free and let me know below in the comment section which game or which top 3 fall games you're most looking forward to and why. And then the other game that Steven's looking forward to is Need for Speed Payback. And this is one I'm kind of cautious about from E3. I watched the Let's Play of it. It felt very scripted. And I'm hoping it turns out way better by the time it releases. But I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping that it turns out good because obviously there's a fan base out there. And I always want a video game to live up to the expectations of the fans. And I don't want it to be a letdown. I don't want it to end up being a waste of money. And I don't want any game, whether it's Assassin's Creed, Need for Speed, Grand Theft Auto, etc., to end up doing something that drives their fan base away. Next, we go to Stitch Fan of Twitter. I can't wait to play Evil Within 2, South Park, and Sonic Forces. I never played Evil Within. I did watch a Let's Play of it. It's very weird, very interesting, the first Evil Within. And Evil Within 2 looks like it's going to be just as quote-unquote interesting. And I'm sure a lot of the Evil Within fans are very, very excited for the release of Evil Within 2. And I never was a Sonic fan because I grew up playing Nintendo, except for whenever I went over to one of my friend's house to play on his Sega Master and Sega Genesis. But for the most part, I was all about Mario and Link. But, you know, I have nothing against Sonic. It's just that I have no real opinion about Sonic Forces. But hopefully Sonic Forces will turn out to be good. Unfortunately, previous Sonic games have been a disappointment, but hopefully that will not be the case with Sonic Forces. And I'm also very, very excited, obviously, for South Park Fractured But Whole, officially coming October 17th. And finally, we go to Young Knight off Twitter. Shadow War, really liked the first game, as did I. I enjoyed Shadow of Mordor. I even did a few Let's Plays a long time ago on the channel when I was a lot smaller. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. It had its moments. And I'm glad they're taking that and building on what made it great. Okay, so I'm very, very concerned about Shadow of War. Specifically revolved around single-play microtransactions, which is a major issue for me. I tolerate it to a point when it comes to online gaming. And unfortunately, by tolerating it, I've noticed that it gets worse. Like with example, Grand Theft Auto Online. There was a point where it made more sense, you know, for shark cards to exist for people that just didn't have enough time to grind to get that supercar, the high-end apartment, etc. But they've raised the prices on content and the vehicles, and it's more difficult now to grind to get the new content in Grand Theft Auto Online. So I'm afraid that the same thing is starting to also happen with single-player games, and I really don't like it because of the fact that you're already shelling out $60 for this video game just to play single play. And I think there is some multiplayer aspects to Shadow of War, but at the same time, I'm very, very concerned about the idea of monetizing single play games. And I know they use the excuse, just like everyone else has used as well, you don't have to spend money to get this content or these various chests. I think there's like a silver chest, a gold chest, and another chest as well. But the point is, they're going to make it very, very difficult for you to get those legendary, unique items without actually spending real money. And that's what I have a serious issue with, because of the fact that you already spent money on the game. And since it's single play, you know, you should be, you know, able to get everything in the game without having to spend additional dollars. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully people won't bow down and start giving Warner Brothers money for monetizing so they can get the legendary sword or legendary clothing or troll, an orc, whatever. And then they see that there's a backlash there. Even if people did buy the game, they're not giving them any additional money besides the amount that they gave to purchase the game itself. But I guess we'll find out in a few weeks what's going to happen regarding the fans. And like I said, I loved the first one, Shadow of Mordor, because I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. I'm a fan of a lot of things, Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, Star Wars, etc. But the point is, I'm very, very cautious about this, and we'll just have to see how it plays out. And I may end up getting Shadow War as well. I am still on the fence about that, along with various other games, because at the end of the day, there's only so much time that I have. in order to dedicate to a video game. So I'm very selective about what I purchase and what I don't purchase. But Young Knight, I sincerely hope that Shadow of War does turn out to be a very good game, and the monetization aspect becomes almost a non-issue, kind of like a side thought, something you can do, but at the same time you don't necessarily have to do. Now, before we wrap up, let us talk about the top 3 games I'm possibly looking forward to when it comes to fall 2017. I've kind of mentioned maybe 1 or 2 of them already. All right, so here we go. South Park Fractured But Whole, that is definitely a pre-order for me because I'm, like I mentioned a few times, huge South Park fan, and I love Stick of Truth. And even though it's a different development team behind Fractured But Whole, I hope that Fractured But Whole lives up to Stick of Truth and possibly even surpasses it, because you still have Matt and Trey behind the scenes, you know, helming it and doing the voice work, and they're very, very protective about their product, which is South Park. So, especially the fact that there have been South Park games that have come out in the past that weren't as good. So Matt and Trey, who are also gamers, very, very cautious about that, very mindful. And that's one of the reasons why I think Stick of Truth was such a success, because it actually felt like you were in South Park. And I think the same is going to be the case for Fractured But Whole. Plus, I love the comic book arc in South Park. I love the Coon versus Mysterion, the Super Friends. I love those episodes. And I'm looking forward to diving more into that with Fractured But Whole. L.A. Noire, just like I mentioned, I have never played it. I know, one of those few Rockstar games I never played, and now I have an opportunity to do so coming up November 14th. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm still deciding whether or not I want to Let's Play these games, live stream it, or just play it in private, because at the end of the day, not only am I a content creator, I'm also a gamer, and there are games that I do play by my lonesome that I never put up, but I don't know. It just depends on what you guys want me to do. Do you guys want me to Let's Play these games or live stream them? Or would you rather me not? Just let me know one way or the other. And the other game that I'm very, very excited about, surprisingly, because like I mentioned, I'm also a Star Wars fan, is Star Wars Battlefront 2. Yes, Jesse, I realize it's not the original Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I love Battlefront 2, by the way. But I feel like EA DICE has listened to the fans regarding our complaints for the first Battlefront remake, which, was very, when it released, very dry, very boned, You know what I'm saying. It didn't have as much meat on it as it should have when it released, but they added a few things over time. I think that they learned a lesson from the feedback from the community, and I think Battlefront 2 is going to be a lot better because of what I've seen already. The fact that not only do you have more errors that they're going to do the original series, they're going to do the prequel era, they're also going to do the sequel era. I guess that's what we call episodes 7 and 8, the sequel era. So we're going to have maps from all 3 eras and characters, aka heroes, from all 3 eras, and we're also getting a story mode, which I'm very excited about. And the main reason is because of the fact that it's going to be canon. Because everything now that comes out regarding Star Wars, if it's a story, whether it's a video game or a movie or a comic book or a novel, is officially Star Wars canon, meaning that it actually exists in the realm of Star Wars, that whatever event unfolds in Battlefront 2 is part of the Star Wars lore. It's not Legends, it's not Expanded Universe, it's considered canon just as much as the movies, as the recent comics and novels for Star Wars. So that's one thing I'm really excited about. Plus, I did love the story campaign for Battlefront 2, revolved around the 501st. This is very similar because you're going after rebels, the vile rebel scum that blew up the second Death Star. You're playing Inferno Squad, and I always liked playing games from a different point of view, aka the Empire, and that's one reason why TIE Fighter was one of my favorite Star Wars games from the 90s, because I loved playing for the Empire. Even though I do side with the rebels in a lot of ways, light side over dark side, but it's a video game. It's fun to play it from different points of view, and that's one thing I'm very interested in regarding Battlefront 2. Plus, I believe we're also going to have space battles from the very beginning, and I love space battles in Battlefront 2. And obviously, as a TIE Fighter fan, I want space battles along with ground battles. And I hope we have the ability to go from ground to space and board ships it'll be interesting to see how Battlefront 2 plays out. But at the moment, these are the 3 games that I'm most excited about coming out this fall. Once again, thanks to everybody that took the time to submit your choices, your views, your opinions for what game or games coming out this fall that you're most looking forward to. And if you did not get to partake in this discussed video and you would like to let us know what game you're most looking forward to, our games coming out this fall 2017, feel free and do so below in the comment section.